Well, good afternoon, everybody. Happy hump day. God, I hate when people say that. Don't you, Mike?
uh, hey, Mike. Hey, what was the Geico commercial? Happy
Yeah.
Hump Day. You know
Oh,
what day
right,
it is?
right. Way too predictable. We were just kind of hanging out and having some coffee. By the way, this is my agency mug. Nuts Talent Agency. They're fabulous. One of the top non-union agents in the Midwest. Very, very good people there. Just thought I
And
would.
this is my agent of the morning. Just call me agent of the morning. Every morning you find me at the drive-through at McDonald's at the McCafe.
Perfect. The McCafe. McHealthy. McMike is McHealthy.
That's exactly right. No cream.
No, no cream.
Kids.
No cream, you new talents out there. Well, you know what? We were just kind of talking a little bit about when a client calls you based on a quote you gave them for a project, and this just happened to me a couple of days ago, where I quoted a client $400 for an e-learning narration. Well, this does happen from time to time. He called me back and kind of barked at me a little bit because he could find three other talents that would do this for $50 to $100, but before you start getting frustrated, years ago, I probably would have had a knee-jerk reaction and probably said, well, why don't you go hire him for $50 then if he's so good, or said something asinine. But I've learned to kind of be patient with these people, get them on the phone, ask questions about their product or business, learn a little bit more about, who they're targeting, basic demographical information. And, we actually shot the shit about sports for 10 minutes too. And by the end of the call, we almost became friends and he ended up hiring me for the gig. I mean, that's a true story. What are your thoughts on when you give a client a quote and they come back and say, well, I can use Jerry down the road for $100. What do you say to that?
Well, I've always been one to say sometimes you have to educate these people. There are times when you have to educate people, and there are times when the people I have found that are saying this and that are looking for those lower rates already know that the rates are low. It's hard to differentiate one from the other. So I tell people when they ask me, what should I do when somebody, offers a low rate? I just say, educate them. Normally your communication, about 99% of it, especially when you're first starting out, is electronic. It's through email. So you have time to actually come up with what you want to say rather than having to do it on the spot.
Exactly.
So just let them know, that you've got, you're going to be creating the highest possible quality digital audio file. You've invested a lot of money in your equipment, and there's a lot of different things. I'm sure you have some things that you can tell them. I also sometimes throw in there, if someone offers $50 for something, well, this is going to take me 15 minutes to do it. And then once you take 25 or 30% of that, which you should do, out for your taxes, now we're down to this. We've got to consider electricity that it takes. Maybe that might be a bit of a stretch, but I always throw in the electricity, that it takes to power the machines to do and I just let them know that standard going rates, as far as I'm concerned, are roughly this, and I just simply can't work an hour for $50.
Yeah, and I've always thrown in, even if they decide even at the end of the phone call not to use me, I usually wish them well, and I invite them to come back if it doesn't work out with the other talent, or even for a future project. I mean, you know what? And I even invite them to give me feedback on how it went with the other talent. Then they're like, okay, well, this guy actually kind of cares about my project, and stuff like that is going to work for you as well.
Right. Exactly. And, I always like to say too, I don't want to sound like a crybaby. I can't work for $50 an hour because the guy over here putting asphalt or putting shingles on the roof that I'm looking at out my window here in the 92 degree heat might scoff at that and say, what's wrong with $50 an hour?
Right.
Who knows what he's making?
Yeah.
But when you've got a busy day and when you've got a busy schedule and you get to that point in voiceovers where you have that, it is very difficult to just stop and drop everything for $50, which again, after taxes and so forth, is considerably less. So.
Right. And this isn't about ego or entitlement. It's just, you and I have been in this industry for what? It feels like 20 years for me. So of course our rate's going to be higher than, somebody who's just starting out, but you got to be realistic about what you charge. And you know what? And again, the real, to sum it all up, get the person on the phone. Don't start going back and forth via email. And for God's sake, don't do what we do on social media and start this piss match going back and forth via email. Get the person on the phone and have an intelligent conversation about what they're looking for, and your results are going to be far better than having that knee-jerk reaction.
Exactly. Exactly. That's if you're comfortable being on the phone. I tell people, usually people that come to me are just starting out, and that could be good advice. Get them on the phone if you can, if you even know who they are or where they are, what their phone number is. I think that you could probably get better results. But I have typically in the past told people, just come up, compose your thoughts, and then type out what you want to say. You have plenty of time to do that and send it across. But yes, absolutely. If you're comfortable picking up a phone, I think probably you would yield much better results doing that.
Even a short 10-minute Skype session. Hell, you could even do a webcam and show them your studio. Show them that $1,200 microphone that you invested in. Show them that you're not just recording in a goofy porta booth in a garage somewhere with a USB mic. You can actually show them that you've invested into not only the acting part of voice acting, but the actual audio quality.
Exactly.
All right, well, that's it for now. I think, Mike, you and I should kind of get together and do more of these, because even though we've only done a couple of videos together so far, people have given us huge thumbs up all over social media, and the demand is high.
Well, it's fun. I've got 7 email now I haven't even answered with.
There you have it. The fans have spoken. So thank you for your time, and let's do this again soon.